Hi everyone, and welcome to this After Effects series called On a Shoestring. We will try to understand the sound of our favorite artists and see how we could achieve the same quality of sound with homemade production and limited gear. Today, DIIV on a Shoestring. DIIV is a really cool band. They look cool, their shows are cool, their sound is really cool. DIIV sits somewhere between indie pop, alt rock and shoegaze, with a focus on really lush reverb, bouncy delays and old school fuzz effects. They've just released a live album called Boyd Alive, and please give it a listen. My favorite DIIV track is Dopamine, so that is going to be our starting point here. First thing I hear is their really sparkly and clear sound, with a lot of dynamic. I believe the band plays on Fender Jaguar, and I've got a Fender Meteora, so I'm gonna split the mic to get a single coil feels. I'm going to add a nice little drive on my Plume Earthquaker devices. I set the tone to about half for now, and keep the gain really low. We now have a really clear, dynamic sound to play with. Now, let's add a little bit of effects to make it more dreamy. DIIV's signature sound, in my opinion, is this really fast delay that you can hear. I use the Boss DD8 digital delay on analog mode. Next thing is a cherry on the cake, but in my opinion this is one of the hardest things to achieve. You can hear that there is some kind of a subtle shimmer and maybe a modulation like a chorus. So what I'm gonna do is using my Hall of Fame 2 on shimmer mode with quite a low mix and a fast decay. And I'm gonna run it through my Callisto chorus with a mix at about 25%. And I'm gonna give it a high density, but a really low detune. And finally, I'll use the Dispatch Master to get this ambient delay reverb thing. Alright, I feel like we've got a nice sound inspired by DIIV's Dopamine. Now let's talk riffing. What makes DIIV sound quite unique is that ability to pile different melodies that are different yet complementary on top of each other. There's nothing obvious about those melodies, but in the same time they sound familiar to us and quite natural to the ear. That's the recipe of a hit song. Notice how each melody relies on a root note. And evolves around it, which means that without using chords, they can build up some emotion. In Dopamine's case, I guess the emotion would be melancholy. Unlike some shoegaze band, the production is quite minimalist and clear. It allows us to hear clearly every layers of guitar, bass, voices that plays different yet complementary melodies. The drum is pretty dry and the bass line pretty present. I feel like the guitars are overdubbed and that there are several layers of voices. Et voila, after this dive into DIIV sound, we understand a little bit better what makes it awesome. Thank you for watching. Share, like and subscribe if you like what you saw. And please, give me some ideas. Leave a comment and ask me which band you want me to work on for next time. See you later.